Hi, welcome to Zine 101, and today we will be discussing content. Now, you have learned 3 book structures at this point, and I think it's important for you to try to make a book and fill it with something. Now, you may be like, I don't know what I would even say. Like, what do I have to say about anything? And I would argue you have a lot to say about whatever you want to say, or nothing at all. Books can also just be a form of free expression. So today, I am going to make a book using my free expression. And you may be like, what kind of materials do I even fill a book with? And I'm going to tell you whatever you want. So my materials today, which yours might be different, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what some of those can be as I make my book, are this glue stick I had laying around, this sheet of copy paper, some random stickers, and markers and pens that I had. Let me get started. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing yet, but I'm going to have fun with it. So I'm choosing to make a zine with my free expression, and I don't know what structure I'm going to use yet, because all of our books are 1-page books. I have 1 sheet of paper, so at the last minute I can decide whatever structure I want. Okay. That seems fun. Yeah, I'm gonna go with it. Now, I've made quite a few zines in the past. That's the fun thing about zines. Once you really make one, it's kind of addictive because it's a book that you made with your own 2 hands, with your own 2 thoughts. Well, not your own 2 thoughts, with your mini thoughts. And some of the things I've made before is I love superheroes, so I once made a zine critiquing the different levels of skin showing in superheroes. So whatever skin was shown by women, I colored in versus whatever skin was covered by men. I've also made a zine for my Japanese club when I was in college that talked about what the Japanese club does. I made a narrative story about Little Red Riding Hood being swallowed up by a wolf one time. I made a little zine about depression one time. I made a zine about fall fruits. But it's like anything you want to make a zine about, you can make a zine about. You can also just do what I'm doing, which is whatever I want. Your book, you literally can fill it with whatever you want. And I'm not even sure what I'm doing yet. But that's the fun thing about art. You really can just have fun with it. They say beauty in the eye is the beholder, and if you like the book you make, that's great. And if somebody doesn't like your book, who cares? You're going to enjoy the process of making. And that's ultimately what I want for y'all. Just to enjoy the process of making and creating, because you should be allowed to have fun and play. Art should be experimental as much as you want it to make it, or as straightforward. Like, your book doesn't even have to contain images, or it can contain all images. It could be nothing but words. It could be about a memory you had. Like, look how weird and random this is. But hey, I'm having fun with it. If you want to really sit down and contemplate what you want to say, I implore you to do it. I'm using this as a time to get out of my own head, because sometimes I think all my art needs to be the best thing I've ever created, which sometimes can stop me from creating anything. Because that idea that it has to be beautiful and perfect every time is wild. Sometimes making something incredibly ugly, or just playing around with something, will spark an idea. So the act of doing will allow you to do something. And from the action, if all that was created was some random doodles on a page, I say that's a win in my book, because some people never try anything, and the simple act of trying anything is an accomplishment. Mark making is really fun for me. Wow, look at that masterpiece. I sure did the thing. Now, what structure do I want to do with this? I doth not know. I'm thinking maybe a meander book. Maybe an accordion would be fun. Or even a 1 sheet. Do I want to see this all in one shot? Do I want to see this sort of broken up, like as a journey? I think A journey could be nice. I'm gonna turn this into a meander book, I think. Making a book. The paper is working a little weird because the glue added moisture, and that's something I got to learn from making this experiment. That's another good thing about just doing random tests, is you get to see how material works. Like maybe I don't use this glue again, or I don't layer this paper. You'd be like, how are you seeing your folds? One, I've done this a million times before, so it's like muscle memory, but I'm also using the back of the page to see where my lines are, since I can't really tell from the front of the sheet since it has all the stuff on it. But this is fun. You know, also, if this is just a hobby and you're trying something new, that's great. You learned a new skill set. You can say you made a book with your own 2 hands. Yeah, they always say you don't have to be great at a hobby to do it. You do it because you enjoy doing it. And if something grows from that hobby, great. If it's just something you do to like de-stress and like to de-stress, that's great too. But also, I want it to be something that you can tell your own stories. Like, once you know how to make the structure of a book, you can fill it with whatever. As you saw, I filled this thing with whatever was in my mind that day or right now, just random thoughts. But like, if you have something you want to say that you want the world to know, make it. I'm so serious. Just make it. And then give it to the world. That's one other thing I really want to stress about zine making is like, make multiple, make your 1 copy, put it in a photocopier, print so many. If you do it digitally, use the templates as a guide for where to put your images, print a whole bunch and just give them away. Let people hear what you wanted to say. All right, here's my book. It's kind of lumpy. It's kind of clumpy, but I learned a lot while making it. Like, this paper did not like this glue, and it's kind of ugly, but hey, and here's how it looks. It's an experiment full of color and material and expression, and it's kind of ugly, but hey, it was fun to make, and it allowed me to have my brain filled with nothing for a little while. So I'm going to call this Mad Science 32, because why not? And as you should do with all your zines, especially if you're going to be giving them away, you should put your name on them because you made that thing, and people should know where to find you. So I'm going to include my Insta because you should sign and preferably date. I'm going to give it a year to know when it was made because you made a book, and it is important to recognize that. I hope you had fun in this course. There is going to be a section for you to share your zines. So if you take a picture of them, people can see what you made. People can download your template if you choose to upload it that way. Congratulations, you have successfully completed Zine 101 once you create your zine. Don't think you're getting out of it. You have not successfully completed a course until I see some sort of book attempt with content. That's your final assignment. Go make something.